be a risk that will have an effect in the future, then we have to advise the clients. Anyway, like the QS, they are professional and are involved in when it comes to cost and then contract agreement. So a QS must have the knowledge of cost and must have the knowledge of contractual documents.
But we have seen people that most times when they want to build, what they do is, because of the role that you guys play, and they feel that they might have a hike in the price of construction materials, they prefer to put you out and just use the engineers, or even go to the market and get the materials themselves. What are the setbacks that might come in through this?
Yes, if one, why we have to call a quantity surveyor? Because you actually don't have a better knowledge about what you want to go to. You are not a professional in that environment. But if you are thinking that, okay, it's something I can get then in the market, okay, I will buy the material myself, then I will just have somebody to fix. So more or less you are only paying labor only. Fine, you can, but however, do you have the knowledge or understanding about the material? That will be a question I will ask that person. Now you can go to the market and then say, okay, I want to buy a roofing sheet. Let me take that one as an example. Somebody can say that per meter of this particular roofing sheet is 1,007. Whereas somebody will say that per meter of this particular roofing sheet is 5,000. Now you don't know the reason. You might just, if you are only be driving at that cost alone, then of course you will want to go for a cheaper one. But one, there are gauge involved in roofing sheets. We have 0.45, we have 0.5, and we have 0.7. And to some, because we actually don't have standards in this country, individual can design whatever thing you want. Somebody 0.55 mm gauge for a roofing sheet, the thickness might be, if you take it from another person's own, his own, what he claims to be 0.55 could be 0.5. That is his own standard. So because we actually don't have, when it comes to the market, we don't have a standard that determines our market. Just like in other advanced countries, their markets, they have a standard for the market. If this is the specification of what I want, the specification of that particular material must meet that requirement. Whether you go to shop A, you go to shop B, you go to shop C.
You wanted to double into something the other time, and I intended to ask you, what are the roles of a QS in construction?
Okay, all right. A QS, like I said, they are professional and they are experts when it comes to cost and contract in construction. So let me bring it down to a layman language, so that because a lot of people mix quantity surveyor with land
because there is
surveyor,
with
land surveyor, because it's land surveyor behind it. So now when it comes to when you are talking about building or getting a cost for existing building, okay, existing object or non-existing object. So the work of a quantity surveyor goes beyond just building, but let's just streamline it to build construction alone. Non-existing and existing structure, then you have to think of a quantity surveyor, in the sense that you want to build, you have an idea of what you want to build. I want to have a 5-bedroom in my room, 2 family, 2 living room, 1 family lounge. Then you want to have the cost, just like the point I mentioned, that who is it that I want to build, you first of all sit down. So now while you are thinking about that, you should be thinking about who a quantity surveyor. So if we're going to help you while you are still, that your brief, that your idea of what you want to do, a quantity surveyor will help you to determine the cost. And that cost now cannot be divided into different stages. Either you want to go the material, the labor, from the initial stage of the project to the final completion of the project. Then you have to think of a quantity surveyor. However, like I said, land surveyor, they deal with just the land itself, land area, and then estate surveyor, they only deal with existing structure.
Okay.
Shall you get my
Okay.
point?
Let's come back to the topic of the day. You guys, you QS, you work more with the sellers of this construction or building materials. I want to ask, do they have like an association? Because you talked about
Standard.
yes, you talked about standard in developed countries, and we hope that Nigeria will also come to this day. Do they have an association that guides them in putting prices on these things?
When it comes to there could be an association, but still depends on the discretion of the company on what they want to do. So there is no there is no standard. Maybe I just use that word. I don't want to say they don't have an association, because for example now, if you are mixing concrete now, there is a standard. If you're going to 1, 2, 3 admixture rate, that's cement, sand, and water, whatever it is, cement, sand, granite. There's a standard that has been designed by the Nigerian Society of the ISO and whatever.
Yes.
So now there is that standard. But however, why some people claims to be doing that, if that's why in some standard construction work there must be a regular test, cubic test, that will be carried out to know whether those standards are followed through. But however, if there is a test and then you said that you've done this and you have not, and you actually and the test actually failed, they will know that no, you did not. So what am I trying to say is that there could be a standard, but such standard at the production unit can be manipulated.
Okay.
So you get my point, can be manipulated, which perhaps the reason why they do that is best known to individual that is producing that particular,
and which also affects price,
which also affects
at the end
price,
of the day.
price, and then that can affect, if you even estimate that okay, this also material that will be needed at the long run, you end up saying that
yes, I wanted to talk about that fluctuation in price, that you already have an estimate, and then by the time you get to the market, you notice that what you found last week or last month isn't the same. It shouldn't, there might be changes, you get what I'm saying, but I don't think that it should be a fast change. Like you can't ascertain that the price you get today is what you will get next month. And like I said, Property Pro NG has said that these prices, the prices of our local construction items, are 15% higher than those that come from outside Nigeria, and we want to encourage that people use our local products. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Now, as a QS, what would be your advice to builders that you say that it is better to import materials, or we should stick with what we have here? And if you are saying we should stick with what we have here, what do you think are the things that should be put in place? I know you've mentioned government policy, but what are the other things that should be put in place to ensure that we have a stable pricing regarding construction materials?
Let me start by this. The major factors that affect fluctuation of material, basically inflation, is one of it. When there's general increase, of course, it's going to affect a lot of things. And just like I said, the government policy cannot be taken out of it. Now, there's demand for minimum wages now. Of course, which is going to affect whoever the company that is producing material to, any raw material to, their staff too. Of course, there will be an increase. So it has effect on almost everything. And that may be the reason why the government is trying to avoid approving such.
That you think?
So maybe, sorry, I don't want to go into.
Yes.
So now, one thing that the quantity surveying profession, one thing that they're actually doing now, so that at least if KSA work on this particular bill, KSB work on this particular bill, or contractor A or B work on this particular bill, their prices should be the same thing. Before, inside the bill of quantities, there's a portion for the rate items. Now, we have in that rate, which the price of the material will be included, the labor, the overhead will be included. Now, what the industry, the BSMM4 that they just produced now, the standard that they have in the profession, what they have is that you don't put your profit inside that rate again.
Oh.
Sure, you get my point. You don't put your profit inside it again.
So how do you get your profit?
Now, the point is that at the end of the total cost of it now, then you will now include, it's still a work in progress, it has not been fully established. Now you will now include your profit on it. So now, let's say the total contract sum is like 20 million now. You can now say my profit is 20%
of the total
sum. So that's what the institute is doing currently. So then, everybody submitting quotation, and it is the same specification that they are required to get prices on, should be the same thing.
So it means that if you now go to, at the end of the day, when you go to the market and then they say that something is higher than what you have in the bill, you make sure you beat it down to that price.
But now you can't. You cannot, because A can say that this is my own because he has building this profit there, but you don't know what he has in his profit. Like the profit is like it is not known to you. So you get my point. So that's one thing that the institute is doing. Then perhaps if that is fully established and actualized, then it could affect other things. So you can't. So you cannot cover yourself under the.
That's a very good one, and it means that your institution is making sure that by all means there is a standard and there is an equality, no fluctuation in price of construction materials. We're going to go on a short break now, and when we come back we'll continue this discussion. Don't go anywhere.
Are you an investor? Do you desire to know more about real estate in Nigeria? Do you need a platform to list your properties? Watch Real Estate with Oluwadara on Immaculate Television every Friday at 10:30 a.m. For sponsorship details, call 0703 071 0772 or 0706 786 3028 or send a mail to oluwadara88@gmail.com. Real Estate is come to you.
Welcome back. So I'm happy about the development you mentioned from the NIQS, if I'm correct, and that's a very good development. So on a general note now, Jide, what do you think, or what message do you have regarding building materials and people people wanting to construct now, how to regulate prices and engaging quantity surveyors?
Okay, let me talk about the one that I can control.
Yes.
That's my profession.
Yes.
And me.
That's why I mentioned engaging quantity surveyors.
Now, before any case we finish up or we present a final cost on the building, on the material rather, then you need to do due diligence. In the sense that you need to know his market, sort out the market very well. It's just like a lady when they want to go to the market to buy food material. If A give them this price, they won't just stop there. But they go to inside the market more so that they can get. So he or she needs to do a due diligence when he's doing his pricing. And so then two, another time we encourage is that the government should provide an enabling environment so that we could have competitors in this provider or producer of materials. Because when there is no competitors, then somebody, since you are monopolizing that material, then there will always be an increase. So there won't be competition in it, and then there should be a standard anyway. But because the government doesn't have much say on what you are producing, as long as they get their own tax, so you have the final say on what you are doing. So there is no check and balance by the government apart from just pay your tax, your due. So if there is an enabling environment that we support what they are producing, because if you are spending a lot on diesel for you to produce the material, then of course it's going to affect the end product too, and we have to increase it so that nobody is doing business that they don't want to. So I don't have control about the people that are producing. So, but on my end as a county surveyor, I need to do a due diligence, and my fellow county surveyors to need to do a due diligence when they are getting these prices of materials, and then they should go extra mile and try and compare and contrast for the, and to the clients. And I will encourage them that you cannot underestimate the use of a professional in anything that you are doing, as long as you don't have knowledge about that. Don't think that you want to reduce costs, you want to bring down costs, and then you go for quack people that are not professional. The money that you are thinking that you are saving, there's something they call in construction initial cost, running cost, and the maintenance cost. When you spend more on your initial cost, then your running cost will reduce, and your maintenance cost too will reduce. But if you're trying to cut costs on your initial costs, I'm assuring you that be ready for more to be spent for your running cost and your maintenance cost. Because when a building has not gotten to like a month, like 6 months, a year, then there are a lot of practice maintenance that you have to do on it. And once it has been there, once the structure has been there, maybe there is undulation on the building. Now later your exposure, you're not seeing, you can't correct them again. You just have to leave it in your fate. So now they need, once you don't, whatever token you are paying for the professional fee, try and do that.
You know
just
that it is worth the while.
It's going to save you a lot of I know in the future. So my encouragement is that they should make use of these professionals, and if there could be a policy that will be done so that just like if you are building, like the government, like in the states, if you are building, before you can get approval, you need your architectural drawing,
and your engineer.
You need the engineer, then you need the survey plan based on their standard. You can't run away with if you are doing a standard building. Now, to help the institute too, if there will be a standard too, that a quantity surveyor bid too will be needed, sign and seal for whatever thing. And it can actually help the government.
People are listening to you, and you can raise it at your meeting too.
Of course, and it can actually help the government too, the state government too, in raising internal revenue funds. Because if you say legitimate funds, because if you said, okay, this percentage of you want to collect, maybe you are doing all these tax clearance and what have you, how much is the bid? And they say, and the building is just 100 or less than 20 million. You can actually use that to rate whatever return or that you are going to charge that structure. And I just mean that, okay, this story building, story building, 1 floor, 2 floor, okay, we charge them this much. That one is just using discretion. You can use that, they can use that bill to determine what they are going to, in that they are helping the institute, and then their awareness is getting, a lot of people doesn't, the institute is not that popular like that. But few people that know the importance of them, they are using them. Anyway, the government is one of their major, is one of our major people that patronizes the institute, and because there must be a standard with everything that they are doing.
Yes. Thank you, Jide, for joining me today. I have one last question, though it's not in regards to the topic today. Happy Women's Day. Happy Women's Day to myself and every woman out there watching us. I just want to ask, you've been mentioning your institute, because the slogan or the word for this year's International Women's Day celebration is balance for better. And it means that you need to involve women in everything to give equality. So as your institute been encouraging women to join, because I noticed that we have a lot of men QS than women.
Of course, they have waxing, that's the Women Association of Quantity Surveyors.
Why are they different from men and QS?
No, they are. It's just like a subsection of The last president of NIKS happens to be a woman.
Good, perfect.
So
that's what I wanted to know.
No, there is gender equality.
Okay, very good. So thank you for joining me on the show today. It was really an informative segment with you. So next is the information segment. Please stay tuned.
Are you an investor? Do you desire to know more about real estate in Nigeria? Do you need a platform to list your properties? Watch Real Estate with Oluwadara on Immaculate Television every Friday at 10:30 a.m. For sponsorship details, call 0703 071 0772 or 0706 786 3028 or send a mail to oluwadara88@gmail.com. Real Estate is come to you. Are you an investor? Do you desire to know more about real estate in Nigeria? Do you need a platform to list your properties? Watch Real Estate with Oluwadara on Immaculate Television every Friday at 10:30 a.m. For sponsorship details, call 0703 071 0772 or 0706 786 3028 or send a mail to oluwadara88@gmail.com. Real Estate is come to you.
Segment on real estate with you. Today I'm going to be discussing with us 6 reasons why you should buy instead of renting. One of my mentors in California, she's the boss of Main Street Realtors, that's sold by Caroline. She did a write-up on this, and that's what I'm going to be discussing with you, though some of it are in accordance to the things that are happening in the US, but we will discuss it as it affects us in Nigeria. The first is monthly mortgage payments creates equity. That's what she's trying to say here is that your monthly mortgage payment creates an equality with what you pay monthly when you rent, or what you pay annually when you rent. So it is better for you to decide to buy than paying monthly rent. And I've seen some people who actually bought through mortgage in Nigeria in the few past years, and that means that our mortgage system is getting better. So instead of paying rent, staying in a place for 5, 6, 7 years, and you're paying rent, it's better that you channel that rent money into your monthly or annual rent by buying through mortgage. The second thing she said is security. She says that owning a home, acquiring your own home, gives you security. Since that owning your own home means you no longer have to worry about your landlord raising rent or selling their property. And in fact, the truth is, when you rent a house, you are helping your landlord to buy another property. When you pay your annual rent, your landlord has already invested money in buying that house that you are renting, and then your annual rent or your monthly rent that you pay back helps him to gather money to buy another property. So beware, it's better that you buy a house, own a home, channeling your rent into it, than renting an apartment or a building. She says that tax advantages, that has to do with what is obtainable in the US. It means that your tax can be reduced if you are buying a property. But here, how it affects us is that you have loan advantages. Instead of renting, you can use a rented apartment or a rented property to borrow money in the bank. But when you have something that you own, a home or a property that is yours, it gives you an advantage to borrow. The next is that similar monthly payment amounts. This means that a lot of times what you pay as rent is similar to what you will pay back monthly if you are buying an apartment. For instance, some people their annual rent is ₦1,000,000 and above, whereas you can buy a plot where you pay in ₦1,000,000 annually. And then at the end, maybe you do that for 4 or 5 years, and at the end of the day, the property is yours. So it's almost the same thing, renting an apartment or directing that money, channeling that money back into the property you want to buy. Next is freedom. I like the sound of that, it gives you, owning a house, owning a property gives you freedom on every side. One, you don't have to think about your landlord disturbing you, worrying you about this, about that, about raising rent and all that. And it also gives you this kind of feeling where you know that this is mine. Even if it's not a house yet, you have a plot, you have that feeling that this plot belongs to me, and I can start doing 1 or 2 things on it because it is mine. I own it, rather than a place where it's rented. Last is that buying a house gives you a sense of stability and community. That is very, very true. When you have a property that is yours, it has your name on it, it gives you a sense of having your feet on the ground. You are not shaken financially, most especially, and then emotionally, it gives you this sense that you have something you can call your own. And then wherever your property is, because a lot of people, she said in this write-up, that when you buy a house of your own, you stay there at least 13 years. So it gives you a sense of community, the people around you, the kind of people that stay around you, kind of people that own properties around you. It gives you a sense of belonging with them. And then you are stable in one place because nobody sends you packing from the house, because it is yours. So I advise you today, instead of renting, instead of spending money on that rented property or apartment, please channel it into a property that you will own. And that brings us to the end of the information segment today. I hope that you've learned a lot. Please stay tuned. Next is the marketing segment. Welcome back. This is the marketing segment, and I want to say a big thank you to those who have called us up in the last week to list their properties for them. We are still expecting pictures from some of you. Please send in those pictures, but we are still going to mention your properties on the show today. Also, another thing that I want to mention is that next week we are going to be announcing our official email address, so it's not going to be my email address anymore. And third, what I want to say is that this program is actually powered by Imperial Services. Imperial Services is the company that I am part of, so this program is powered by that company. First property that I'm going to list today is the Akobo bungalow. This bungalow is almost completed. It's been used for a while, and it's going away at a very affordable price, at a giveaway price. To buy it, it's in Akobo, like I said, and it's close to the main road. It's close to the main road, and it's going away at a very affordable price. So to be a proud owner of this property, it's on a 2-plot. The bungalow is on a 2-plot. So it gives you opportunity to renovate the bungalow and then do other things on the plot of land. So for more information on this bungalow, you can call my number or send an email. My number will be on the screen soon with my email address. Next is the duplex in Kolakwa Ishola GRA. Kolakwa Ishola GRA is before Akobo. This duplex is a 5-bedroom duplex, and it has a detached 2-bedroom maid's room. It also has a gatehouse, and it's going away at a very reasonable price. Like, as you can see, it's a very big, beautiful and luxury, yes, apartment. So for more information on this to buy, you can call my number or send an email to my email address. Next is the bungalow at Idishin. This bungalow is a 3-bedroom bungalow. It's all en suite, and it's fully air conditioned. The bungalow is also going out at a giveaway price. It's located in Idishin in Ibadan. You can call my number or send me an email for more information on these. Great news, we have another bungalow for sale in Legacy Estates. The other bungalow is also still on sale, and we have another bungalow that is on sale. This is fully air conditioned, and it comes with some other gadgets in the house. It's a new house, it's neat, and it's a 3-bedroom bungalow that has an attached BQ. I won't be able to mention the price here. For more information, you can call my number. Also, the duplex in Legacy Estate, the 4-bedroom duplex, is still available for lease. So if you are looking to rent for somebody, or you are looking to rent an apartment inside Kolakwa Ishola GRA, the duplex is still available, and it has two attached maid's room. It's suitable for people who do not want their maids to live in the house, and who has drivers that they do not want to live in the house. You can call me up for details for the lease details on my number, or send me an email. We have come to the end of Real Estate with You today. I hope that you've learned a lot, and I hope that you found a property that you're interested in. Like I always say, if you have properties that you want us to list for you, you can call us or send us an email. Thank you for staying with us today. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Are you an investor? Do you desire to know more about real estate in Nigeria? Do you need a platform to list your properties? Watch Real Estate with Oluwadara on Immaculate Television every Friday at 10:30 a.m. For sponsorship details, call 0703 071 0772 or 0706 786 3028 or send a mail to oluwadara88@gmail.com. Real estate is come to you.
You don't love the church no more. You don't love the church no more.